Hello and welcome to MRI Tribe. This is your host, MRI. Thank you so much for joining in a Sunday vibe check. Happy Sunday. It looks like Liverpool Football Club has finally started to move, and it looks like the moving happened because Bradley Barcola decided to move, not Liverpool, so it's okay. Thank you so much. Sunday vibe check. Of course, a lot is happening, but nothing is happening. But with the Barcola links and with him showing interest, that you rarely hear somebody showing interest, like genuine interest. Like generally speaking, a lot of the superstar players don't really show much interest in living in Liverpool. So we're always happy when we see a superstar who lives in a city like Paris. I'm sure the partying, the size of the like for him, he's a French speaking person, of course, so for him and that world, for him to not mind leaving it and join the ranks of a team like Liverpool, and the fact that if it's like close to happening, the one thing that we're going to discuss many things. We're going to discuss how he would fit. We're going to discuss whether he can mentor Rio and help Iraola develop Rio into a player that God knows the ceiling of. Also, we're going to look into things like can he fit into the rotation? Can he cover on the right? I'd personally like him to play on the left, to kind of him and Rio can kind of like just take over the left. I would hope that we sell Gakpo, nothing against the guy, but just like in terms of like how we're setting up under Iraola. I don't see Iraola is very heavily dependent on many things, but one thing he's dependent on is that intelligence and tight spaces and guys that can just like press correctly and play both feet and play in any direction possible. So that's definitely something very important. Big up Aruba. So in terms of like I said, it's a Barcola to Liverpool type thing, and there's of course like a lot to be said. So I was just wondering if we can have like if when we have him, how is the rotation gonna look like? We really need him. I'm gonna get into this. We really need him to have to kind of join the ranks. That way, we show a guy like Rio that we're Liverpool Football Club. This is the kind of talent we get in the door, and you're gonna have to like play like that, and whether Barcola is a huge success or not, that lifts everyone. He can play down the line, he can go left, he can create, he's a scorer. Like I don't know, but of course, with all of that being said, there's reservations on the price of how much he would cost, and that's always something that's like, you know what I mean. There's always a reservation on the price of how much he would cost. So that's always we're going to get into that as well, and we're going to go through some articles, some news, some updates, some links, and just see like some quotes, and just see and reactions, and just see what does it mean for us as a club, for the Premier League, for PSG, and for the world of football in general. So in terms of just like in terms of him, what can he offer? Like, what did he offer PSG, and what can he offer going forward to any club? And like for Liverpool, he's somebody who's really good at playing one-on-one, but he's also good at understanding that if you have space, he's good at using it. He'll make a play out of it right away. He knows that if you have so much space in front of you and somebody's giving you options, then it's probably much easier to go behind them and give an easy pass and have somebody run from behind them. They're just gonna lose, like 10, 20 yards just like by doing that. So why? What's the need to go 1v1 all the time? There's no need. And guy like Barcola doesn't have that, like, part of his game where he knows that there's plenty of time to go 1-on-1, because there's a plenty of time where the game is gonna lock in. These are professionals. They know how to close in the semi lines, and they know how to half press, half close you. So it's never that easy to be able to, like, it's never easy to be able to just, like, find your space and play your ball all the time. We saw it at the World Cup, we see it at the Premier League. I'm sure he sees it at the French League as well, with guys being very athletic. So that's just part and parcel of what it is that comes with the territory of being a winger. But with him, he doesn't just get himself into situations where he's dragged out of the pack and he's just stuck having to, like, dribble. It happens naturally, and that's one of the time where he can shine and try to move or two. But outside of that, he's not somebody that would go chase, like, a situation to try to create a 1-on-1 if the 1-on-1 is stupid, or like close in space just to choke himself out and, like, to dribble somebody. A lot of guys do that, and then you're like, bro, like, there was so much space. You could have, like, laid it right, laid it left. There was no need for you to, like, you know what I mean? There's no need for you to actually, like, dribble at that instance. But a guy like Barcola can help so much with that. So, guys, smash the likes and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. We're talking about Bradley Barcola. We're saying what it is that he can do for Liverpool. What does it mean for the Premier League? I think if he comes to Liverpool and not Arsenal, it's huge, and we're going to get into that as well. So, in terms of here, there like, I'm just saying, they're saying how there was this article. It just talks about how they would set up, and how, and then they're just reflecting and talking about how there was a link between when Iraola said we need wingers, and then with whatever happened with Barcola after. So that tells us the article is by Ewan Ross Murray. So the article just shows how there's a link between what's going on in terms of, like, what Iraola is demanding, and like from one point and refuses to sign a new deal with PSG. So that is huge. They're just going on and talk about it here. They've been they describe it that Liverpool's been handed a major boost, and I'm hoping it's not just a boost. I'm hoping there's more to it, and we end up signing him because we really need him. We need him, and I'm gonna get into why we need him and how we can use him, of course. But we do definitely need him. There's the market. The market is not very, like, potent, and the fact that Ekitike is injured, in the future they can easily play together, and this guy, he can easily cut in and play the striker role and finish from these positions. So whether you put him in on the left flank or whether you want him to drift, or even like Bradley Barcola can even play in a 4-4-2. You know what I mean? Like if you really really want, but his aerial is probably not the greatest. So we're just gonna talk about that just before we can get in to what he can do for Liverpool. Let's just discuss what he is individually as a player. That way, I can give you guys an idea of how I can see him for Liverpool and what he can do for us. The sample of this year, Desiree Doué took a lot of his minutes, so it wasn't the ultimate situation for him. But at the same time, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, you know what I mean. Um, it's one of those things where it's important. It's important that you see him from an individual standpoint, see what he can do with just like a given any given team, like a PSG. Although he had a bunch of help, and of course the numbers are always going to be helped by when you're playing with guys like Kvaratskhelia and well, Kvaratskhelia replaces him, but like Dembele, Desiree Doué. Desiree Doué seems to be rotating with him in France, and he seems to be dropping a spot for Kvaratskhelia, ironically. So that's football, right? You're always rotating. Things are happening, and they don't always happen like whatever. So here, like I was saying, I'm gonna start with this. The aerial duels one is 45%. So he's in the 45% percentile. So just like with that being said, I mean, like you can tell, like he's not a specimen. He's not a physical presence. When he gets up in the air, it's not always gonna be pretty. You know what I mean? He's gonna lose the ball. And the thing is, one of the ultimate contrast about any sport, perhaps, but with football, the difference in mentality between a striker and a defender. Some strikers back in the day used to be more aggressive. They were more on like Romario, like he's not just like a random guy. He will, like, you know what I mean? He will fight. They have that thug mentality. And they were very strong, broad shoulders. Now, forwards, you don't expect much in air duels because like he just hugs the line, cuts in. He hopes for the finish here and there, but it's not his thing to like win air duels. So definitely the 45% percentile in the aerial duels is not like, of course, it's not like the ultimate. You know what I mean? Chances created in the 83 percentile. That's really good because like you got his team and then Monaco. There's so many guys ahead of him, like that he doesn't get that many minutes. Like, you know what I mean? So he's competing with this percentage that's really high and good with other guys that play probably better minutes, and he's like creating in terms of stats the same amount of numbers. So yeah. So in terms of like that, yeah. Like for those that are watching, can you guys drop in the chat whether you think Bradley Barcola is a great fit for Liverpool? Do you see him being a better fit for another club if you're a fan of another club? And smash the likes, subscribe to the channel. I'm alright, tribe. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Like just from a standpoint of he's in the 83 percentile, right, for chances created. So I'm gonna stop at that. I'm just gonna I analyzed it, but I'm just gonna explain one more thing about that I like that he can do for Liverpool. 1 second, guys. And I'm back. Thank you so much. So there's one thing I wanted to talk about, right? That's very, very important. A big part when you're playing on the left flank, right? You get the ball. First thing that's going to happen is that the right back of that team is going to try to front you or size you up, stop you, try to force you the other way, the opposite which way you want. If you're going to go to the sweet foot, to the right foot, whatever, he's going to probably try to like just keep it closed, whatever. If he goes left and he's able to play the ball back with his left, back to a running, somebody arriving at the box, so on a pullback, that is amazing. And Barcola can do that. You know what I mean? Sadio Mane can do it as well. Sadio Mane, when he started, he was at the right flank. You guys remember? But then eventually he drifted to the left, So when that was the case, when he did that, he's able to do that because easily because he can cut in, of course, and go to his right, and he scored so many goals, and he can turn, and he's the best like ever, but also when he had the ball and he's looking at his defenders, whatever, and after he beats them and he's making a play and he's going deeper, he's getting to a point, on the line or down the line where his body's positioned in a way where he's more than capable of hitting anybody with his left, but more importantly, hitting somebody on the ground pass, a pullback with his left as a right-footed player on the left flank. That is huge. When you're able to do that, that is so huge. And I can't wait to see Bradley Barcola doing that, because if you give that to an arriving Verts, an arriving in the beginning, you might mess them up a little bit. But eventually, if you keep trying these passes, you got Verts arriving, Soboslai, Ryan Gravenberch, Isaac, Ekitike eventually. Game over for any team, because all of these guys that I named can hit it first time, or they can take a touch, turn, toss, do something, hit it, give a pass, continue the play. Like, you got nothing to lose, And the one thing about that play that's a bit scary is that when you pull the ball back and you got a lot of guys attacking the box and you pull the ball back, the one thing that's scary about it is that it can cause bad counterattacks against you, because you're passing the ball in a position where if one defender intercepts it, he's already ahead of a 3, 4, 5 players of your attackers, and he can see the field. He's on top of his box, and he can see the field. And if he has space and he's quick, or can find a good pass, it can be trouble. It can be trouble. And for somebody that's very intrinsically, Iraula thinks about every quarter of the game, every ounce of it. So that's fine, and I love that, and I'm sure he's gonna make sure that when Barcola's playing the pullback, they know to put themselves in a shape where, guys, if Barcola goes to his left, he can hit you deep, he can hit you low, near post, he can hit you far post. But if you want the pullback pass on the ground, you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. Possible transfers. Big up, Musa. So Musa Aziz. Sorry about that. So Musa. So big up to you. So I think for the transfers for today, I go back to my Twitter and I'll tell you what's going on. Like, there's bunch of talk about guys going about, like, just the Barcola stole the news, right? Just because, like, and they're saying it's 170 million. Like, I honestly just don't understand the whole 170 million. So Musa, what do you think of Barcola costing like 170 million? Like, what do you mean 170 million? You know what I mean? The value, like, that's not even possible. You know what I mean? Like, if I understand Elliot Anderson going for 120, is that something that made every other club sitting in their financial department saying, hey man, just put another 50 million on anybody? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not even another 50 million. This is honestly an 80 million player. This is an 80 million player who's not really an 80 million player, but he's just an 80 million player because of the market. But because the market is extra silly, extra boosted, extra thing, they just put another 40 and they made it a 120. I don't think this is going to be like a 170 or a 150 or 140 or 130 range. Who the fuck would pay that? If Liverpool is willing to do that, just like how we did with Isaac, man, like with Isaac, a huge fan. Most Liverpool fans love what they're seeing, and we have big hopes for going forward. But it's just like, the instinct impact, we don't think it's 150 million worth. And I say it with some political correctness, because I know it's not even that big of an opinion anymore. Like, even if I was looking for controversy, then it wouldn't even be that much of a statement. Like, everybody knows that the 150 for Isaac is not the perfect signing. Like, you can't say, oh, that was perfect, all your money, you got it back. We barely got fifth. He kept getting injured. Van de Ven, bro, what the fuck? Like, this guy ruined last season. I'm still very hopeful of my guy, Alexander Isak. He's very capable. So let's see. So moving on, let's see if just generally, what do we have? So this is mostly Liverpool. I'm just gonna put like just for general stuff. Let's see what's going on. Stay with me. See, even like for anything you put, it just straight goes to like Liverpool stuff. Stones. We're also linked with Stones. I would love that. I'm gonna stop at this one actually, just like a possible transfer for Liverpool. I'm gonna stop at this one. It also involves City, so City fans are probably like also would be interested. We got a new friend of the channel, the other like the Saturday stream. We had great conversation about City, about whatever. So yeah. So for this one, with John Stones, you guys don't understand how happy I would be for us to have a guy like that. You always see these signings. They happen so much. Signings that where a guy comes in, you know what I mean, and he's not that young and he plays really well. Even like the international team of Spain, Laporte comes in, and because of his age and capability, Pau Gubarsi is just able to play on a high level, doing things that like even for Barcelona he was doing, and he's not. It's not weird, but he was even doing it on a. It felt like a higher clip, to be honest. Like Kobarsi looked ridiculously good, and it just gives you another dimension. Laporte was 32. In this case, you've got John Stones. I'm gonna check to see how old he is, but I'm like just generally speaking, for John Stones, I'm not sure how like fans feel about it in general, how they feel about like him he would be maybe with his age and stuff. But let's see how old he is. But like just generally for me, the build from the back concept and to hit the right guy at the right time and just be able to not get flustered. You're always like, you know what I mean? You're not getting flustered. You're always capable of just like, you know what I mean? Like swing the ball around, do whatever it takes. He's 32 years old. So for somebody to be 32 years old, it's kind of impressive. It's kind of impressive, to be honest. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good thing for like for me. He's 32, right? So for me, it could go to 34 before he would be like non-playable for a top six side, but that can also start like within a season, depending on, you know. Would City have like let him go if they didn't feel he lost his legs? Usually with defenders, if when they get a bit older, like 32, and they haven't lost their legs, they're a commodity. So if somebody's letting them go, that means that like, you know what I mean? Like it's like there's something that's not perfect, but I wouldn't look at City as a team that when they let somebody go, then a lot of people left City. I'm just trying to think. Some people left City and did well, like, because it is what it is. Like they're a good team, and they actually you actually learn a lot from playing with them. And I'd like that leadership, that pass from the back leadership, that pep that John Stones have. I'd like. I swear to God, before the links with John Stones, I was like, I wonder if we can just steal somebody from City. You know what I mean? Just like steal somebody from City now that Pep is gone. Just it would be like a passive aggressive little stamp. Be like, all right, Pep, goodbye. We stole this guy, and then Pep would watch him succeed with us, and then everyone would be like, oh, it's this guy that was the reason for success. Like I would like break the bank for so many City players. They have so many good players. But maybe not John Stones, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind a little Pep experience coming in. You know what I mean? So do you guys agree with that? Do you think? Do you think? Please type it in the chat and smash the likes, please. It really helped the channel. I think we haven't got a like yet, guys. Please, you know what I mean? I know it's a new channel, but it just means a lot. You know what I mean? So smash the likes and yeah, drop in the comments. Let me know if you feel like a guy like John Stones would bring some of Pep, would be able to do that. Because as a defender, I think like if you watch Man City, you would realize that a lot of the way they play counts on total football. Everyone is important, and the way they block and the defense and they initiate play is tremendous. It's so important to how they play. So yeah, so we got another signings. We got like just comment on what Musa was saying. Big up. We got Morgan Rogers. Of course, we know he went to Chelsea. Tielemans went to Man United. Tielemans going to Man United. So like, what do you guys feel about that one? Like, drop in the chat. Let me know if like what do you think about? For those gonna watch later, of course as well. Do you think Tielemans to United is something worth stopping at? Is it a big deal? Of course, also with Garnacho to Aston Villa, my friend was telling me about it today, and I was just laughing. And he doesn't like Garnacho, And I think a lot of people don't like Garnacho, but for him to go to like Aston Villa is just so funny. Like you go from United, it's funny how when you start your career at a club that is a good club, you know what I mean? When you start your career at a club that is a good club, what's going to happen is that sometimes after that, especially like if you're Argentinian and you have something about you, and like Garnacho like always like has that thing where he's convincing others that the ceiling is so high. So just like from that standpoint, I just think it's so funny how like how do you go from United and then to Chelsea and now to Aston Villa, arguably three teams. Aston Villa has been playing arguably better than City and United. Chelsea has been, or like Chelsea has been arguably better than United and Aston Villa in the last, like let's say, 10 years. You know what I mean? Like they won a Champions League, they won the league in 2017 and in 2015. So for the last 10 years, 10-year era, Chelsea has been better. Aston Villa has been better in terms of form and in terms of playing more attacking and in terms of playing more cohesive and in terms of having a better coach in Unai Emery. So that and then Chelsea is better like than the other two in terms of like the last 10 years. Oh, and United is better than the other two in terms of having the big name, you know. So it's just really funny how coming from United in a pool of United, Chelsea, Aston Villa, it's really funny how coming from United helps you swing between Chelsea and Aston Villa at times where both of the teams are trying to eclipse United, and at least a form or a window or a season or whatever it is the competition brings down the boil to. But instead of that, you see a guy like him benefiting from the name of United, but the other things that would make the other clubs special, it should be reasons for them not to get a guy like Garnacho, but ironically they did. So that's really, really, really funny, I think, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think it is what it is. You know, it's who he is, and it's how he plays. He scored the bicycle kick. He's done some stuff, but honestly, I don't see nothing about him. And it would be and like it would be a huge fail if like, let's say Bradley Barcola come to the Premier League. If I visualize Bradley Barcola playing anywhere near in style and stats and consistency in whatever it is, if he plays, if you know what I mean, if it's even like, you know, like that style, it's very impotent and I don't like it, and a lot of people don't like it. That 101, but you're not doing much. You're showing promise when you're like receiving the ball. You're showing promise in how like the energy you're showing, like, you know what I mean. But outside of that promise that you're showing, it's still not outside of that promise that you're showing. Like it doesn't seem that you're able to make a good play or show a skill set where you can like consistently people can count on you. And Garnacho is also his stature and like his ability to physically dominate and stand and hold the line and hold his place is also harder. Di Maria was skinnier, for example, but he was taller. So tall, like height, like helps, height helps a lot, you know. Because if you're gonna push somebody who's taller, and you need like a lot of force because they weight more as well. So when you start trying to push them around, it's either gonna be a foul or it's gonna be, you know what I mean, like, or you're just gonna get distracted. So Di Maria was a perfect combination of tall and skinny, so he was able to just like use it to not be like, you know, he would be pulled around and pushed around because he's so skinny, but at the same time he was able to eat up space and compete with you on a high level because he's also tall. So from that standpoint, I definitely think it should be like, you know, it should be like stopped at or no like noted that it's like, oh, okay, you know what I mean. Another thing that 1 second, sorry. um yeah, everyone's talking about it, like anything Liverpool, they're also saying, and they're saying the chances of Morgan Rogers and Elliot Ederson as valuation yardsticks. Like that's so funny. Like PSG, you know, when you have so much money, and I think that's the model, the Arab money model. You have so much money, so when you make demands, you always make them in a way it's very power trip, and it's just like, bah, whatever, go do this. It's just disgusting, man. 1 second. 170 because we saw what happened with Morgan Rogers and Elliot Anderson. Yeah, but like 170, like he's coming from France. Those guys are proven prem players, and they're not supposed to be expensive. And all of you guys are just inflation freaks, you know. So it's just like whatever, man. You know, like PSG and their whole thing. I don't. They're playing nice now, and I'm happy for them. Post Mbappe, I'm not an Mbappe fan, so the post Mbappe thing, I'm happy for how they were able to, like, you know, do well and win Champions Leagues, and that's pretty cool. But outside of that, I'm not a fan of him that much. Nothing against him as a player, whatever. I follow. I know he's good. I support the players, just like the vibe in general. So when he left, and then he caused like, and when you see PSG winning, you just feel like, oh, okay, wow. So yeah, so what do we have here? Yeah, so this guy is like, it's just like that whole yardstick and the evaluation, and it's just like, man, Anfield edition. PSG are prepared to sell Bradley Barcola, 145 million pounds. Bro, we're not paying more than 110 million pounds. Like, forget it, man. Forget it. It's too much. You know, even he's in the 80 million pounds, which is like 100 million or 95 million euros. And I think that's decent for him. But, like, you know, it's too much. This guy is complaining, the United stand. He's complaining about like United having the worst transfer in years. Tielemans is the only one. And that other one, I forgot his name. Man United announced the signing of Tian Thompson from Tottenham, left winger, 18. Never heard of him, but it seems interesting. Other teams are moving. You know what I mean? 1 second, sorry. Hello and welcome to MRI Tribe. Sorry about that. So back to our topic. Yes, so we are discussing Bradley Barcola coming to Liverpool. What does it mean? What does it mean for him? What does it mean for us as a club and for the Premier League? I think for the Premier League, it would have implications. I think if Bradley Barcola comes to Liverpool for the price that's not very exaggerated, it would be way different than him coming to Liverpool for a price that's very, very exaggerated. If we pay 170 million, and if we pay 100, it would be like a big difference. Somewhere in between, we're gonna meet with them, we're gonna pay, and it's gonna be too much, and it's gonna bring the type of pressure that might be a little bit in the beginning. But can he prevail? I think he can. Guys, smash the likes, please, and subscribe to the channel. So I think the part that's gonna help him prevail and do well is just gonna be the part that's gonna help him do well is just gonna be like the speed, and he has this like nag for a goal. And I think when you go and spend so much for a Florian Wirtz, I think a Jamal Musiala has I think Wirtz perhaps maybe even stats wise maybe scores the same if not more, but Jamal Musiala, you just feel like he puts more tension and pressure on the goal itself. That's all I'm saying. So but it was going to be very hard to sway him away from Bayern Munich. You know, if anything, it was hard swaying Florian Wirtz from Bayern Munich. You know, but he said he wanted to come to Liverpool, and I loved it. But to spend so much, and he couldn't actually. There was a lot of times where Liverpool needed a result, but we couldn't get a result because our best player, supposedly, Florian Wirtz, wasn't able to actually score a goal, and I don't blame him for it. I don't expect you to be able to do that for us, you know? But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. It is what it is. So do you guys think that Barcola's lack of physicality going forward can be compared to Florian Wirtz in the first season? And if so, would that cause a bit of a problem for Liverpool as a club? Like you know what I mean? Or not? Like, I was just wondering if you guys see the comparison in the whole you know, just the comparison and the whole like size thing, because one of them is very fast, the other one is very slick and deep positions. Like Wirtz is very smart and knows exactly what's happening, but sometimes he'll lose the ball and you're just like, oh wow, what the fuck. But like it's not that he didn't calculate time or space well, it's just something about how like his style and how he thinks, it just doesn't work when you're not as strong as he is. And he thought he can make up for it by he can just like lose the ball and go up to a guy and just like stand on it in front of him and then drift away. It doesn't work like that. You need more. You need more. You need to do more, you know? And because of that, like it's always going to be hard for him. If he doesn't get much stronger, it's going to be hard for him because he's not tall. Bobby Firmino, for example, was tall. So when he came into the league, he was kind of skinny, but it didn't matter that much because he's tall, like Di Maria's example. So they'll get yanked around and pushed, and it sucks. But at least they can make up for some of the being dominated by physicality. They can make up for it by just being tall, so they can eat up space, like hit you with in aerial duels, or when the ball is in the air, they can finish in the air when they arrive in the box. It's really good. And Roberto Firmino, for a Brazilian, he was really good in the air because like for your height, you find yourself in positions where the ball is right there. Like Ekitike, he missed so many headers last year, but I'm pretty sure if Ekitike, like if you put Ekitike in a position where he's actually like, if you tell Ekitike, how much do you regret missing these headers? Ekitike will tell you, I miss it like hell. Like I know, especially the fact that he knows it's kind of like a weakness of his that he can't finish them. But the fact that he's tall, he's gonna have a lot of situations where he's gonna find himself, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna have a lot of situations where he's gonna find himself in a situation where there's so much pressure on on him to score, because if the ball is meeting him there, he's finding himself tall enough. When you're tall enough, there's no like, oh, I jumped and I couldn't hit it. It's there. You got to finish it. And Ekitike failed. And a lot of times, Roberto Firmino, from the beginning with his headers, I think as a percentage or in general on the eye test, he was scoring them more. Although Ekitike is a way better finisher with his feet, you know. Bobby's also a good finisher. He just didn't get it with stats, not consistently. He's more of an attacking midfielder, and we also miss that. We miss having a false nine. We miss having. They wanted a real striker. They brought in Alexander Isak, but they don't really have a supply. So now with Barcola, you can at least have a guy that can drive down the line, and like I said, can help assist with both feet. But mostly, I want to see people assisting on the left with their left foot, even if you're right-footed. As a creator, I want to see people that can, like, if we had like an Ousmane Dembele on Liverpool, Premier League 1 done nothing. Like, especially with the players that we have right now, he would move the whole team. But that's the problem. We don't have guys like that. We don't have guys that are like we don't have guys like that are multifaceted. The ones that can think and do things that are kind of different. You know what I mean? That's the nice part. You have to, like, say I'm acting like I'm going somewhere, and I'm at top of the box. I'm trying to make a play. You know, I have the left option next to me, and the whole field is to my right. You know what I mean? If I'm creative is one thing, but if I'm creative in a way where actually I can think about something, but I can do something totally like different to what I was thinking, and still at the end look like, oh wow, look. Like that's a master at what he does, you know. We need players like that, and unfortunately we don't have players like that, you know. So yeah, so it is what it is, you know what I mean. And here we have here we have this. Let's see what they're talking about. The most expensive transfers of all time. Guys, check this out. This is the most expensive transfers of all time. Let's see. No, it's good. Neymar, 222 million. We all forgot about Neymar going to PSG for 222 million. That's crazy inflation. PSG again, like I can't believe that there's so many teams that got stuck and in trouble with the law and with administratively with their said divisions and said clubs and said bodies and whatever, Europa and UEFA. But then you look at teams like PSG and they're making purchases for 222 million from fucking 2000 and I don't know when, like 2017 or some shit. Like, wasn't that so long ago? Neymar, when he left Barca, I remember like it was so long ago. Like, it was at least 9 years ago. You know, I think it was exactly 9 years ago. You know, so yeah. Like just with that being said, it's super funny. You know what I mean? Like that's actually like super funny. Next one on deck here is 180 from Monaco to PSG again. These guys are so funny, bro. Like, they got Messi for free. It was a free transfer, I think. But this one, Kylian Mbappe, 180 million. That's so funny, man. Like, that's like PSG, 222 million, and the next one is them also to 180 million. Ousmane Dembele, 148 million. Is that when Barcelona bought him, or is that when PSG bought him? I think that's when Barcelona bought him. So that's really funny, you know. And then here you got Alexander Isak, 145 million. Morgan Rogers, 137 million. Elliot Anderson, 135. Felipe Coutinho, 135. Felipe Coutinho, no, look, like, this is insane. So guys, take this in. The fourth after Ousmane Dembele is Alexander Isak. Look at the three names that were like named before. Alexander Isak is still young and can do so much with Liverpool. And doing something with a team like Liverpool actually counts for a lot. It counts for, like, let's say you had a career with PSG, because it's in the French league and whatever, and the size of clubs and that club particularly, regardless of who it is, even if it's PSG, because you're in that league, it would perhaps be arguable that you might your career might be looked at in a way where, let's say Salah with Liverpool, no career with PSG can top Salah with Liverpool, unless you ask a PSG fan. You know what I mean? Like, Ousmane Dembele would need to do so much. He would need to do at least 2 more Champions Leagues for him to be like, I had a better career with PSG than Salah did with Liverpool. He would need to win 2 more Champions Leagues. And if other teams had any ability, they'd be able to stop PSG. But honestly, it's kind of scary. I wouldn't be surprised if we go 3 on the bounce. The De La Fuente, Luis Enrique school of play, even Scaloni plays like that a little bit. We've seen a little bit like of patterns for Argentina, but they failed in the patterns and they look like a like a horrible team that couldn't even practice. And like I'm just saying, that school of play is, everyone has its own version of it, is my point. And like what I'm saying is, everyone has his own like version of it. But I think it's just funny how you got like, I just think it's funny how you got Alexander Isak. That's a lot of pressure on us. Like 145 million. That's a lot of pressure on a team like Liverpool, to be honest, to deliver on a promise. Like, you know, when you buy a player for that much, believe it or not, the fans who care so much look at it like it's as if we voted and we're looking for results, and these results came out, but are we happy with them or not? The money being used to for whatever we invest, it's like it's more than, it weighs heavy, because this is the money that the club generated and profited for many years, and for years of success, a history of success, and the establishment. It's something. It's like a moving ship. You know, you need to always make sure that it's maintained properly by bringing the right players, so you can breathe in the right vibe into the fans, into the field, and outside. And because you're bringing guys that are so expensive, I'm not sure, like they're saying, show more here. Florian Wirtz comes in at 10th with 125 million. Between them, between Alexander Isak at 4th and Florian Wirtz at 10th, okay, there's Morgan Rogers, 137 million, going to Chelsea. Very inflated. I like Morgan Rogers. I think he's very talented. So let's do like a rating. So for those guys watching, big up, like show your presence, you know. So for this one, Alexander Isak, overrated or underrated? Just type in the chat, please. Just type overrated or underrated in the chat if you think Alexander Isak is overrated, underrated for the number of 145 million. And the other one for big up Candice. Yeah, with Diomande going to Real Madrid, Vinny gonna leave, and so. Oh, okay. So wait, so Diomande will play on the right, bro. That's the whole point. First of all, big up to you. You're missed. How are you? How's it going? How do you feel? Did you forget about Argentina? We're all with you. We all love you. I haven't forgotten, but I honestly, it feels like it's long in the back burner, because just the whole World Cup feels like it's been long gone, which is kind of okay in a way. If whatever, like, I know we were just a small minority, people that kind of cheered for Argentina. They became so hated, and I understood why they were hated. I agreed with 80% of the reasons in terms of like the out of the field reasons. So it's just like, yeah. But with Diomande going to Real Madrid, yeah. Do you know the thing is about him going to Real Madrid? Can just we sure, it looks like it's happening, definitely. Vinny's okay, because Vinny Diomande would be super help them with defending. He's 19 years old, right? So he would help them with defending. He would help them with many things, you know. So just from that standpoint, it would be really good. Um, like he not only would he help them with defending, I think he would also help them with making the right hand side of the field very active again. Excuse me. So Real Madrid, they have a problem. The right hand side, they're putting Valverde a right back, and then Trent came and they're rotating him, and the Carvajal got too old and got injured, and now they don't know if they should give Trent entire minutes, or should they play somebody else, or should they go defensive, should they play three at the back, you know what I mean? So that was that. And then Valverde, he had to be dragged. He played in a four-man midfield on the right. He played in a three-man midfield on the right. He played in a three-man up front on the right for a bit for Ancelotti. He did the whole right back thing. So the whole Valverde position, and also his relationship with the fans, his relationship with the fans, to be honest, in just in general, right? So his relationship with the fans wasn't that good. So I think with Vinny in general, to have somebody on the right that can take in pressure, because that would drag in a lot of, like, attention, and he can go in, and Vinny can arrive at the far post, and he can have goals. not similar. I don't want to make the comparison. I'm not trying to like sound like, I'm the last person to be naive around this game, but I mean it'd be similar to the goal that Lautaro scored. Like, he's not tall, but Messi was able to find him. He was in far post. But like for Vinny, it would be the same thing. He's very quick. He would just have to go and kind of just be in that position. But yeah, like of course, like it wouldn't, like that's not, like that's the thing. He's not like, his headers is decent. He can score from them. But Rodrigo was the guy that was playing on the right. I wanted him at Liverpool. I think Rodrigo is a great player. I think he's just a super player. He's just a super player. I think he can dribble. He can go 1-on-1. He can drift back to his left. Although usually guys love to cut back to the right, playing on the left. He doesn't mind playing on the right. So Rodrigo is just somewhere like Candice. Can I ask you a question, please? Can you tell me what do you think of Rodrigo? Like if he left Real Madrid, which would be the best fit for him? What do you think Rodrigo would best fit? Because like this guy, he's just with you saying Diomande is going to Real Madrid, with us assuming that that's the case, and let's say he's going to Real Madrid. How do we know that? How do we know that? Like, you know what I mean? How do we know what's going to happen with Rodrigo, and how do we make sure that something happens out of this guy? Because there's no way you just want to stay in Madrid as a rotational sub outside of the 23 type, like rotational, like I don't know what happened to your knee type player. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where I'm just not sure, like, you know what I mean? Like going forward, I'd love to see him somewhere. And it's just really sad how he doesn't want to go to England. It really fits him because he's very strong and he's tenacious. You can get him off the ball with a push, but this guy has big moments in the Champions League. A lot of teams in England play in the Champions League. They got six, and potentially a sixth team if they win the Europa League. So then you got six teams participating potentially in the league where you're going. So imagine whatever teams you want to belong to. Like, let's say you're a guy who would like a Rodrigo. You say top six is the least of my standards. So when you think about that, each team with the top six, whatever they are in position, when they attain the top six, they can actually help you go to Champions League. So that's not a bad thing. That's never been a bad thing about England. They always had a lot of teams go to Champions Leagues. Italy had three, and I think and a half. See, and which is good. And England had four and possibly and a half. No, it was always four. And the fifth, which goes to play in the Europa League, if they make it, potentially we just gave you guys a fifth seat for the next season. You know what I mean? And just knowing the English teams and the money they have, team tournaments like the Europa League are good, are not hard. They're not hard to defeat. Usually, you're playing teams in Europe that are very popular. The games are very tough, but the teams having a moment in their run where they're Europa League level. They're not, like, you know what I mean? And not always. Some of the Europa League teams are actually Champions League level. But the hype that a team gets, it plays a role in how the guy, like, you know what I mean? Like the hype that the team gets plays a role in how the guy himself, you know what I mean? Like plays, like, you know what I mean? Plays the game. And the guys just play in the Europa League with less intensity. They feel like there's less social media, less whatever. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you're still playing in Europe. But I'm saying the top 16 can offer Rodrigo something, even as part of like maybe even in the future, if I'm being super positive around him. Like if it doesn't work out, this Real Madrid thing, why don't you just try a Chelsea, like a Willian, be like a Willian for Chelsea or for Tottenham, and it would be really nice. Like he. Like, so what's the big problem? Like you're still gonna get a lot of like parties and fun if you want in the UK. It's not like it's not fun. Hey guys, sorry about that. So yeah, continuing on talking about our list here of the top 10 signings of all time, because this is kind of very relevant. Two of them are happening right now. One of them affects what are we gonna do right now. So big up to Candice. Sorry about that. The lag is very normal. My internet is super fast, but it's happening with everyone on YouTube. It's just been glitching when we use third-party software. So big up to StreamYard. Good afternoon. Big up, Peter. Let's go. Guys, today's stream has been super great. I'm so thankful for everyone's support. We got 10 people watching, which is super great. And a lot of people have subscribed. I've just checked the channel. I feel very blessed today. It was a nice stream. I know I prepared for it, but it did better than I thought. And I'm very thankful for the OGs are here also, Candice and Peter. Big up, Peter, the ultimate OG. What's going on, man? How's it going? How you guys doing? Vibe check. So yeah, happy Sunday to you guys. You know, we're just here. We're gonna go on for a bit. Why not? It's Sunday fun day. Yeah. So I'm just talking about the nice. Good afternoon. So I'm happy you're good. So Peter. So here we got the top 10. I'm gonna share screen. So here we got the top 10 transfers prices of all time. The most expensive top 10 most expensive transfers of all time. Number 1, Neymar, 222 million. I mean, he was a super talent, but that's like that number is not reasonable. Super overrated. Boom. I don't even need to ask in the chat for that. Kylian Mbappe, 180 million. At the time, too much, and he didn't win with them, and he hasn't won with Real Madrid. He's good with France, but the 180 million is not to buy an international France player. So I have the right to say that 180 million was perhaps overrated. Number 3, Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele at 148 million. I'm guessing. So was this one Barcelona bought him, or was this one when PSG bought him? Because I'm gonna look that up right now, and then once I figure that out, we're gonna know how to evaluate that one. Moving on forward, Alexander Isak, 145 million. I like the player a lot. I think the ceiling is very high, but 145 million was a lot for how much we've seen so far. And the ceiling is very high. If he scores 25, would I shut up? Like, it's just for 145 million, it would have to be maybe more than one season, unless he brings a major trophy. If we win a major trophy because of him, then fuck, I don't give a shit about 145 million. But if you're playing, if you're part of a rotation and I'm not winning a major trophies while you're in the club, then 145 million should always be a little bit too much. Although I'm a fan, but truth must be told is all I'm saying. So for Alexander Isak, Candice and Peter, do you guys think overrated or underrated for that price? We have to consider the ceiling as well, not just what happened. Like, you have to consider like how much we paid for him. Is that gonna, when it's all said and done, is it gonna be a worth it transfer or a not worth it transfer? You have to hypothetically visualize how you see him going forward from the season that you've seen him, which is not fair, you know. So I'm just trying to see here if Ousmane Dembele, who paid 148, was it Barcelona when they got him? Because he was pretty bad with them and injured and playing PlayStation. But when he went to PSG, he won 2 and Ballon d'Or and 2 Champions League. So if it's that, then it's not overrated. I'm saying if it the second you get majors, then it's different, you know. So then there's that. The next thing that we have here is Morgan Rogers for 137 million to 137 million to Chelsea from Aston Villa. So what do you guys think with that one? I'm gonna wait for you guys to let me know if you think it's overrated or underrated, because I know what the hell is going on. No way anybody thinks that's like or properly rated. Nobody thinks that's a good signing, or is it overrated or underrated? No one in the world is gonna feel like 137 for Morgan Rogers is justified. Nobody in the right mind should think that way. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, how are you Like, how are you gonna convince me that like Morgan Rogers is worth 137 million? Guys, smash up the likes. It really helps. We don't have that many likes. It should be way more. Please smash the likes. Thank you so much, and subscribe to the channel. So yeah, so how do we have like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you have 137 million for a Morgan? I think Morgan Rogers is a great player. I think Morgan Rogers has a very good eye on the ball. Very good, like very good feet. He opens up, drags himself back into space. Very good. Like he opens up. He gives himself as an option. Very good to his teammates. And yeah, like that's really good. You know what I mean? And I appreciate him for that. I think Morgan Rogers is a great player. And with the inflation, I would say a nice 80, 90. I understand when you're playing for Aston Villa doing that good. And then, like, you're going to the World Cup, very good assist to Gordon against your rivals, Argentina. Like, you know what I mean? If England was able to buckle up, play differently, maybe give him the ball again, who would know? Who knows? Maybe Morgan would have won and maybe been at the end of a ball and maybe would have scored. I'm not saying, you know? But at the same time, for this guy to be this price is just unbelievable. That price is super high. It doesn't make sense for a player like him. You know what I mean? How are you gonna justify? How are you gonna justify that price? You know, 137 million for Morgan Rogers. You know what I mean? Let's see his stats. Let's see his stats with on FootMob. No, it's just one of those things. It's not. Yeah, so I know I'm just saying, like he's a good player. They already have him suited with Chelsea, so he's a good player. He's a very talented player. I'm not saying he's not. For sure, they got fucking shit for that. They didn't get shit for that. So here we got Morgan Rogers. What did we say? Guys, remember 137 million. 60% chances created. So for somebody that he was getting a lot of minutes, he was put on the left, he was put in the middle. Like they were swinging him around, but I'm sure like he was okay with it. And his style, he should be okay playing anywhere. He's like the English Ariel Ortega. I'll give him that. The guy can play. The guy can play. I like how he plays a lot. You know what I mean? But all I'm saying is this. 60% in the first percentile. You know what I mean? How much is he again? 137 million. No problem. You got here 73% aerial duels won with Aston Villa last season. Okay, so he's better than 73% of the league at aerial duels won. Okay, guys, like honest to God, I get it. It's one of those things, whatever. But like at the same time, you're just gonna have to understand that 73%, he's strong. He's what? Like how tall is he? 187. 83, 73%. I'll give you that. It's fine. It's good average. Whatever. It should be in the 80s, but it's fine because like they're comparing you to people that play in your position. So I'm guessing that height is normal in the Premier League when guys play up front. So it's fine, you know. But still, like you know what I mean. 187. He's tall, man. Yeah, so sorry about that. So yeah, so defensive contribution 49%. So out of his peers, he's better than half of the league at defensive contributions. It's fine. So yeah, big up Peter. Yeah, no, thank you. That's amazing breakdown. Thank you so much. Bless. That's really cool to know that. I remember it was kind of something like that. So yeah, so with that being said, Peter, basically for Dembele, Ousmane Dembele goes to Barcelona. They paid so much for him and Coutinho, and they just got fucked under the limelight. You can't really judge. So maybe we can make the new segment kind of compare. Maybe could that happen to Barcola? You know? Samer. So he was talking about Ousmane Dembele. Yeah, you guys, bro, Samer, you guys got so rinsed for Dembele. 140 million. Like it's just unbelievable. The whole thing was just so like over the top, you know? Because like it's just the fact that it happened to Coutinho, but I think you got Coutinho afterwards. Let me just see. Yeah. Because when you played Liverpool 2019, the Roma thing happened in 2018, and I'm pretty sure Dembele was he on the team? You took Coutinho 2018 in January, and he nobody even remembers. You know what I mean? Let me just see. Let me just see. Let me just see. Let me just see. When did Dembele? I'm just trying to see the difference between when did he move to Barcelona and when did. Sorry about that. Yep, we got it here. Oh, okay. Coutinho came into Barcelona after. So Dembele was already there. So yeah, could that happen, Samer? Do you think that could happen to Barcola? Going back to our topic, we're just trying to see. We might compare. We might compare the Dembele experience in Barcelona with what could happen to Barcola. These guys, I'm not saying they're local players, but when they play in Paris, when they play in France, they're way more comfortable, man. People understand them, the vibe, they get the pass they want. Some players want to feel needed, you know what I mean? When they're needed, they can just they can function in a better way. And when they can function in a better way, now you've got you know what I mean, they can just feel better about how they want to play, how they want to contribute to a team. And Luis Enrique comes in and tells you, boom, 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 listen, let's do this. Of course, he was also motivated by Mbappe leaving. Not that he dislikes him or anything, but just there's so much room that opens up for success. And they opened up this room and they just flooded it with guys that are so hungry. Desiree Doué, Dembele, you know what I mean? Even other guys, you know what I mean? The other guys are not French. They're the Veronica Kvaratskhelia. They got Barcola and Desiree Doué and Barcola, Desiree Doué, and Dembele. These three thrived like crazy without Mbappe. So that's definitely noteworthy. I watched big up Samer. So Samer, so you know what happened? So I actually watched Dembele play with Dortmund against Real Madrid 2016. And he was playing with Dortmund against Real Madrid. They tied 2-2 in the group stage. Patrick Aubameyang scored at the last minute, and it was a really, really good game. Everyone was saying, and me included, of course, I noticed, and I was trying to talk about it with others in the stadium, how he's so both feet, you know what I mean? And even the Real Madrid fans who were sitting in the section was Real Madrid fans mostly. Was of course my friend got the tickets. It was just easier to get those tickets, and instead of sitting with the Dortmund fans, because then it would be sitting with the Dortmund fans, it would be literally you know what I mean, you're in the yellow wall, but a traveling yellow wall. So that was good. So just from that standpoint, it was just worth the whole thing was just worth seeing Dortmund, and worth seeing the whole vibe. And also they tied in the last minute, and Dembele made a great run and gave it to Aubameyang. So, and he was playing great left. He can drop to the line, he can go cut in, and his whole life he's good at going straight or down the line, whatever he is. Let's say he's on the right or left. He's good at going down the line, and he's good at going that 45 degrees, just cutting and just going in towards the goal. As he was getting older, when they played him on the right, his left foot became so good. From the beginning, he had a left foot that looked ambidextrous. He looks pure in both feet. But his left foot became such a creator that when you play him on the right, he started able to go make the 90-degree cut, just switch and go sideways, or even go back and you know what I mean. So it was very, very good. It was very, very good to see how his whole career, just that one move of him stopping, going left. He worked on that so much. Dembele is one of the best in the world at going left. You know what I mean? But yeah, interesting here, Peter. You were saying how the whole package. That's crazy because this links us actually back with this. This goes back to this, because we were talking about the guys that are the most of all time. So we stopped at Dembele, and then we wondered, we were hey, 148, is that when Barcelona got him from PSG, or is that when PSG got him from Barcelona? And then when you compare that price that Peter mentioned here, when you compare that price to how much then we can see here how much that was 50 million actually, like euros. So that's like 40 million pounds. So that's good to know. So yeah, so with this guy here, Morgan Rogers, the guy that was supposed to be the fifth, he is the fifth highest signing of all time. Morgan Rogers, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? like it's not supposed to be like that. It's just simple as like I said, I could sit here talk about the good things he does for hours. But these prices, like, where are you guys getting the money from? I thought Chelsea were like under review or some shit. They were told they were told that we're not going to punish you because of what happened to ownership, but be careful for the next PSR quarter, or annual. Chelsea. And now they bought this guy for 130 million, Morgan Rogers, 137 million euros. So 120 million pounds. I think everyone from like Chelsea fans, they're just saying, yeah, 118 million. They're just trying to convince themselves they didn't spend that much. Like, get the hell out of here, man. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are fooling. Big up Chelsea fans. Touches 39%. So he doesn't. He looks like a guy that plays a lot without the ball. So I'll give him big up for that. Like, he, without getting too many touches, he's able to have the impact that he's having. He's only better than 40% in the league of guys, like, in terms of touches. But that maybe means a lot of these guys, they just drag the ball and just keep it with them. I don't know if they literally count. I think they count touches as in. I think they just count touches as in, like the times when you have the ball. But they wouldn't call that touches. I don't know. We're discussing in another episode when they say the touches percentile stat. What do they mean? Because they had it in the World Cup a lot, and they said this team had this many touches in the box, and it became a thing in my head. But what I was saying is it became a thing in my head. But like outside of that, I was just saying it's interesting if I knew when they say touches, do they mean touches like every touch that you touch? So 3 times I touch the ball in the box, is that touches? Or like, you know what I mean? Yeah, 100%. The English tax for Morgan is huge, bro. So Peter here saying you have the current inflation trajectory of players in the last 2 years. Add on dreadfully boring football, and fans will eventually slow down on paying to see. I think footy bubble will burst. Yeah, it's been. You know what's funny, Peter? It's been bursting for a while. And it's not for a lack of. Like there's enough that goes in the game. There's enough people that care about the game. But it seems that the more people that care about the game, the more they want to profit from it, and the more they want to include gambling and scandals and bribes and things like that you feel, at least the accusations are there. But I'm just saying, the more it's just we watch it, and I don't believe in like conspiracy or behind the scene. I think you can't tell a guy, hey, lose a game, you know. So that's just like in terms of that. But that also adds to a lot of what's going on. A lot of people are losing faith in the game, or faith in VAR. For me, I just try to watch and not like, you know, like it's very hard to make an influence on how the game is looked at or treated or refed, or like Chelsea, how are they allowed to buy players with 137 million? But at the end of the day, it is a business, and Chelsea, they make up a stock that they need to just whatever. So they allow them to go and push this trajectory of inflation that Peter is referring to. For no reason, and now the PSG are using it as a yardstick. I don't know if Peter, you're joined afterwards. I don't know if you're here when we're talking about this, but I promise that they were saying that PSG, there are reports by very reputable journalists that PSG are going to use it, as a yardstick the prices that Chelsea and Man City have paid for Morgan Rogers and Elliot Anderson respectively. So what does that tell you about the game, or where is it heading? Guys, smash up the likes. Thank you so much for watching. We've been on for an hour. We're going to go for as long as it takes. This is Sunday Fun Day. Subscribe to the tribe, please. It really helps the channel, and smash up the likes. Thank you so much. So what I was saying is this, right? How are you going to deal with inflation when guys are looking at you from other leagues saying, oh, so this guy was sold for 100 and this much? Then that means Barcola is 170. Oh, so this guy is sold for 100, and this, like, it just doesn't make sense. When we're bringing somebody from we're taking a big risk. That risk is worth at least 100 to at least 10 to 20 million. When we're bringing somebody from another league, and we're just hoping that this guy is just gonna like we're just hoping that this guy is just gonna do the best that he can. You know what I mean? So it's just not that fair when you compare it to guys that are prem proven. It is different. They're British. They're homegrown. They help you with the quota of the homegrown. What do you mean is the same? That's another thing that could be 10, 20 on top of a star, because like when a guy is homegrown and he's not a star, he basically is just hard to keep. So you end up replacing him with a good homegrown. At least you try to have bad homegrowns, good bad homegrowns as possible. And a homegrown is a British player that played in the academy, or somebody from outside that played in the academy under the age of 15. Once that happens, then you can register as a pro who's homegrown British academies, because then you were at some point, even if you're Dutch or German, you fed in that system and you're bred in that system, and that gives you the advantage because there's no discrimination. And I love that. That's awesome. So from that standpoint, and there's I think before Brexit, I could be wrong, but it was just Europeans that could be doing this. And if you can't be homegrown, or the homegrown wasn't even there before Brexit, before COVID time, or that 2019 era, but that's another story for another day. Let's see what Peter is saying here, guys. They could allow football to collapse and make a fortune in the process just so they can start a super league. So the thing is about the super league, I just find it super silly, right? Because then they want to make the World Cup 48 years. And when you ask anybody who's an executive in football and FIFA, or if you imagine or visualize how he would respond to said question, if you ask him, hey, so what would you do? Why would you expand the World Cup? And he'd be like, oh, it's for inclusion, and it's because we think that the smaller teams can compete. Be like, okay, no problem. So why is the Super League popular again? And then if you think about it logically, the people from UEFA or FIFA, they don't want Super League. This is what the clubs say they want. But these clubs, they wouldn't be worth that much if the games are very predictable between like 8 or 10 teams in all of Europe. And that's the only thing they have. I think the underdog method, or the underdog way of life, is huge, because every individual is an underdog. And when we're watching big establishments play, like at Manchester United, at Liverpool, at Chelsea, at City, then at Barcelona, at Bayern Munich, it's more than just a club. It's an entity that people belong to, and start having a say and a pivot on what to do, and on how to be around football and outside it. So I just feel like it's humbling. It's humbling to see how football can change, movement of certain stuff. So I'm hoping that they don't create the whole Super League, because the underdog thing feeds so much the guy that's not as good, but he won today. Because he fought harder, because he played smarter, because he had one player that made a difference. That one player gets then linked. You know what I mean? So, for example, in Colombian football, they're suffering. And then Falcao, the Atletico Madrid and Monaco star in the past, he was saying, and Chelsea, he was saying that one of the biggest problems in Colombian football is that they don't have category C, or a third division. So the first and second division, they go in a loop, and they know they're going to meet each other somehow. And you're either classified as a class A, or you're classified as a class B, but there's no class going down. And when you're afraid of going down, you play better. And the teams that are down, when they're hopeful of going up, they play better. So it's the play better method and the underdog method that helps leagues and stuff succeed. And when they turned it to super leagues, like Peter was saying, hey Peter, I just don't see where it's going, because it defeats and contradicts the same reason why they make the World Cup 48 countries, for inclusion and better competition, and adding. They're like, oh, you think Cabo Verde would have played if it was 32 countries? Well, no. Okay, but we're gonna base the whole thing on Cabo Verde. I'd like that. I like Cabo Verde a lot. I think they played awesome. I like the 48 countries. I think I don't mind the 64. I don't hate it. I'm not going to quit watching the World Cup because it's 64, but I think it's too many games. I did think 48 was a decent number. I don't know why they just kept going up and higher, but that's just things that we can't directly control. We can debate, and that's that. So this guy, like I said, he played. I talked about him also. Morgan Rogers, the 137 fifth most expensive Uh, fifth most expensive. Big up, Peter. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Thank you. So yeah, no, I'm just so from a standpoint of his numbers, a guy who fifth biggest transfer of all time. From that standpoint, I'm just wondering how much it would be. And I talked about his numbers in the beginning of the World Cup, saying why was he recruited by Thomas Tuchel at times where Phil Foden and what's his name was not taken. So Phil Foden was not taking Cole Palmer, and I think they needed them. They didn't have Morgan Rogers. You know how he had 39. He's in the 39% percentile of touches. So him being in a 39% percentile, that means he doesn't keep the ball that much, and that means he plays the push style. And Thomas Tuchel liked it so much till it backfired, because there was a time of the game where you want to slow the game down, and Argentina doesn't want to slow the game down, because the way the South American football is based is you do the opposite of what the other team wants, especially the most time when they don't want it, especially at the most time when we're desperate for something, a goal that they desperately don't want us to do. You know, so like at the epitome of common sense, the guy that claims that common sense, Thomas Tuchel, is the mentor of like his movement, or the guide of his movement. He failed to use his common sense and bring at least one guy that can keep the ball, like a Cole Palmer. He can keep the ball, he can fake it. And again, one of those examples, like a Di Maria, like who else was I saying was skinny and good? Like Roberto Firmino early in his career. When you're tall, you can be yanked around, but you make up for it by presence, because you're tall. So you can at least, like, you can use your body and torso and stuff in a way where, like, and your shoulders in a way where you can be winning 50-50s in a way where it makes up for the fact, even if you're lanky. It's not a good combination to be lanky and tall. You want to be, of course, strong, tall, and mobile if you can. But a lot of times the guys that are tall, they still keep a narrow shape just so they can be shifty. And when you're shifty, it's game over. Like Di Maria, he was a bit tall. He wasn't short. You know, he wasn't like Messi and Aguero. He was taller than them, and that gave him a huge advantage, because you reach the ball faster, your step is more, so you can actually meet the ball a bit sooner than a shorter player. It's just common sense. Like, no, it's not something that makes a difference, like, say, for one game, but it can make a difference for a career. And Di Maria learned and made sure it makes sense for that thing. So he started 37 matches in the league out of, like, the availability. There's a reason why this guy is 137 million. Him and Elliot Anderson, they're healthy. So I'm just starting to realize how health is a huge part of why these guys are the most expensive. Of course, this is what I'm talking about. These are the most expensive 10 signings of all time. Thank you, Sender Goals, for this post from July 18. I don't know why it popped up now on my Twitter. But shout out to them. And we don't steal credit here. And they're saying this is the most 10, because it came up as I'm talking, and this is the most 10 players, the most expensive 10 transfers of all time. We discussed a bunch of them. We got to Morgan Rogers here, and it's kind of like at Morgan and Elliot. The conversation, once you discuss these, you kind of get an idea, because for the rest, you've made your idea of a Florian Wirtz, because it goes in the background, in the back burner, the idea that it's 125 million. So guys, please smash the likes. It really helps. And subscribe to the channel. I'm RI Tribe. I'm your host. I'm RI. Thank you so much for joining daily live streams. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. So here I'm just saying how for a guy like Morgan Rogers, right? We talked about his numbers. We've seen, I think, just the 37 games, 10 goals, 6 assists for 37 games. Maybe number-wise doesn't sound like it might make you, like, you know, a jaw-dropping statement when you tell somebody, oh, I have news for you. Morgan Rogers got 10 goals and 6 assists in 37 appearances. You wouldn't think that, oh my God, like, let's sign him for 137 million. But another thing that you can also look at is the availability, and that's a great thing. They say it's a great ability, right? So these two, my analysis, or my conclusion, or what I think of how these guys are able to, although inflation is the reason for why all these 10 are the price that they are. I can argue that none of these 10 are that good, like, in terms of, like, outside of Osman Dembele, I can argue, are none of these 10 are worth the money, is what I mean. But of course, every single one of these 10 is a great player that I'd love to have on my team. You know what I mean? Some of them are superstars, like undeniably Neymar. He's an icon in Brazil. Kylian Mbappe, and world icon, whether you like it or not. And hasn't been good. It didn't win Champions League with PSG, and then after he left them, he didn't. He's failing to win Champions Leagues with Real Madrid. But he's an icon. Like, he's bigger than, like, you know what I mean, bigger than just one player. Like, he's so good. You know, if he showed it, you know what I mean. Osman Dembele, Ballon d'Or, he would have won another one if France was able to beat Spain. And maybe that's another topic for another day. You know what I mean? Maybe we can get into it. I don't know. Like how do you guys? Peter and Samir, I don't know if you guys are still there, but do you guys think there might have been something between Mbappe and Dembele? Because, you know, Dembele, if France won the World Cup, then Dembele would win the second Ballon d'Or, and that would make him two more than Mbappe. So that would automatically, like, make Mbappe feel like I'm inferior to this guy. Like, you know what I mean? People are making fun of him as the joystick player. I was a World Cup winner. You know what I mean? I lifted the World Cup. He wasn't even, I think, on the squad, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, Ousmane Dembele in the World Cup of 2022, he was part of the reason why people somewhat blame him for that penalty on Di Maria, although he didn't touch him. And a lot of people started or continued from on an earlier accusation, if you allegedly, just to say that these games are like, they look like something is sketchy because this penalty was given too easily, or, you know, like the general bias for Messi or whatever. So Dembele was guilty of that. So at that point, he was not considered to have done so much success with what's his name? He was proven to not have done. Yes, Philip, how's it going? Big up. So Philip, so we're talking here about how big up to you, of course. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. So here we're saying how these are the top 10 signings of all time. These are the top 10 most expensive signings of all time. Cool. And we're saying here how, technically speaking, Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, and Ousmane Dembele, they're very overrated transfers, but they're there because they're like, these guys have huge names and huge talents. The marketability where they are, where they started, where they're moving, like Kylian Mbappe going from Monaco to PSG, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like they're more than just like superstars. They're like, you know what I mean? They're able to leave an imprint that made sense for the price. Although that's what Barcelona paid for Dembele, so that doesn't make sense. But he somehow made a name after that in one of the craziest career stories in football, I think. You know, one of, you know. But we're saying here how Morgan Rogers and Elliot Anderson, these Premier League players, Philip, we're just saying how a part of why Morgan Rogers, I'm just looking at his numbers, 37 starts and 37 games. So he started every game. The availability is very high on Morgan Rogers. And he was able to get 10 goals and 6 assists. He goes to the World Cup, gets an assist in the semifinals. So so far his career has been very good. Is it worth 137 million? No. Elliot Anderson, same thing. But I think because they're very Elliot Anderson, I know this from before. He's the type of midfielder, very combative and doesn't get injured. God bless him, whatever. Like, I'm not trying to jinx him, but like, yeah. So he doesn't get injured. Like, hopefully he stays healthy. We don't wish no bad on anyone. We don't want to jinx him, but they don't get injured that much, and they are available. They don't suffer from, like, you know, fatigue or fitness or cramps or whatever. You know, a lot of guys get crampy, like, just lose focus, lose dietary routines and commitment and discipline. And yeah, so I'm just saying how is the availability, and to be able to play so much that people count on so much and invest in. And that is perhaps why guys like this, maybe, you know what I mean? That is perhaps why guys like this are costing so much. So I think if Barcola comes, and where does he fit on the list, guys? Where do you think? like this is actually a very reasonable question, because Liverpool might pay more than 130. So with that being said, there's a lot of numbers close to the 125 on the last number. So if Barcola joins, where do you think if Barcola joins, where do you think is if Barcola joins, what do you think is going to be where do you think he would rank amongst these top 10? I'll let you guys type in the chat. So Peter, the whole thing about the 170 is very inflated, and they're saying and their reports that we talked about, they're saying that the Morgan Rogers and Elliot Anderson transfer prices respectively are being used as a yardstick to how much we evaluate Bradley Barcola in our sales of Bradley Barcola to Liverpool or any team. So their market evaluation of Bradley Barcola is definitely is currently being assessed and like made up together, put together based on they're using these transfers of 137 for Morgan Rogers and 135 million for Elliot Anderson. They're using it as a yardstick to evaluate at 170. Yes, it's actually, I think it's official that they're asking for 170. So you would have to, it's like if you're going to call us, start from 170, your negotiations. That's what they're saying, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Hey, Philip, big up to you. YNWA for sure. So it is what it is. So if you guys think of Bradley Barcola, if like say they're saying 170, and now he's saying he wants to go to Liverpool, how much do you think he'd be signed for? And like where would he go on the top 10? Just say where he would go on the top 10. You know, look at the thing, and where do you think? Type in the chat. Where do you think you go in the top 10? Also, guys, please smash the likes, please, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Alright Tribe, daily streams. We're gonna have watch-alongs during the game. We're gonna have stadium atmosphere. It's gonna be next level. Thank you so much. So we've been going for an hour and a half, and I feel like time has passed by so fast, and I'm very happy about that. Today has been super great, guys. Smash the likes and subscribe to the channel. So Peter here, he's saying the adoption of the trend will be huge to carry on the huge transfers for every player. You expect it with stars. It's too much. It's too much. How are we gonna fill positions? We need, like, there are reports or there are opinions, and I'm one of them, that we actually need up to 11 players. You know, some are rotations, some are starters, but we need 11 players in different. I'm saying for 11 positions. Some it's a starting player that I need profile coming in. Some is like a hybrid. Some rotation. Somebody coming in. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many different things that we need as a club. So for you to go and spend they're saying 170, get the hell out of here, man. We can't be spending that much. No, we'll just play. We'll get top 4, and next season we'll see if this real estate market explodes. Because if Elliot Anderson and Morgan Rogers don't play well, the prices are gonna go down next year. No way, nobody's gonna pay this much. You know what I mean? If somehow Chelsea and City win the league and Champions League, they split, like, because if any of them doesn't win, they're gonna go back, and this guy doesn't play like perfect, they're gonna be blaming him. You know what I mean? So that's definitely part of it. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be that easy. You know what I mean? So just 1 second, guys. Sorry. 1 second. I'm just trying to see here. Yeah. So we'll move forward. Of course, I think we digest this post very nicely. It was an amazing knowing, and we might come back to the idea, but like, yeah, just before knowing exactly what it is that where is it gonna be assessed at, or where is it gonna, like, the market of the years, but they're so expensive, and there's so much of the, like, what does it mean given there's so much of the inflation that's going on, and how much would that inflation actually hurt Liverpool or other teams? And is it going to hurt the teams that are going to do it? Is because if they do it, everybody's going to know that they have so much money from the sale, so they're going to be in like definitely suffering from inflation this window or a next window, or in general, or PSR or something. Something is going to have to give. You can't just be spending 200 million here, 200 million there. You know what I mean? So like if we just go back one last time, like look, to 222 million and 180. Like the other one, if this was made by PSG, which could have easily been made by PSG if Dembele was successful with Barcelona, but ironically this was made by Barcelona when they got him from Dortmund, and that was how much they got him for. Like Peter was sharing earlier, and yeah, it's crazy. They got up to 150 million. It was a total like a flop, and so basically PSG could have been the one making that. They were involved, but they bought it for 50, so that was good business. They seem to have learned from Mbappe and Neymar, and after that, when they let go of Mbappe, they seem to have learned what happened with Mbappe and himself and Neymar and Messi. Just crowding stars doesn't really like. What does it do? You know what I mean? What does it do? Let's see what Mr. Samer is saying here. Half of the transfers flop. It hurts when a brink transfers failed. Barca had Griezmann, Coutinho, and Dembele all flop. Oh man, that's crazy. Dembele, this guy Griezmann, for example, he comes to Barcelona. The 1 year he comes to Barcelona, Atletico wins the league, and the 1 year that he comes to Barcelona, Barcelona loses the league, and then when he goes back, he wins the league with. When he goes back to Atletico Madrid, they don't win the league. And Suarez leaves or something, and then Barcelona wins the league the year he played with Atletico till he left. They kept winning the league. So the 1 year that Atletico won the league, they were when he was not there, and then the 1 year that Barcelona lost the league is when he was there. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Or the 2 years that he was there. So it's like, oh man, like it was crazy, bro. It's a good shout. It's a good shout, Simon. I honestly I kind of agree. That's a good shout. It's just so funny. Like with Coutinho, like it was actually like one of the worst transfers of all time. People were just like unbelievably like struggling to understand. Oh, it's like, oh my god, you know what I mean? People were just like unbelievably like, you know what I mean, struggling to understand what is going on. Like, why does it have to be like that? Why does he have to play so bad? And this the concept of how you can't really you can't really buy your success. You need to do more than just buying your success. You know what I mean? And it's fine. It's not a big deal, guys. Like and smash the likes, please. Like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Really helps. Thank you. So I mean, like, it's just from that standpoint. Let's see what Peter is saying here. Very true, Samer. The Prime is notoriously difficult to transfer to 100%. That's why the Prime proven thing. That's why they're able to charge. Look here, 137 million for Morgan Rogers and Elliot Anderson, 135 million for Elliot Anderson. You know what I mean? So it's just like, all right, like whatever, like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you'd have to understand that it's one of those things. It's so hard, like, to make sure that a guy is Prime proven. He can come here. He might not like the life in England. He might not, which is a big thing. It's not for everyone. England and the UK are not for the weak. It rains all the time. It's fun. Yeah, with money you can have fun, but you need some friends. You need some, you know. Barcola has Ekitike. I think Ekitike is a huge thing. That's why it's nice to mix it up and bring guys from different teams. From different international backgrounds. You like bring in Verts, you might start bringing German stars. Bring in Ekitike, you start bringing French stars. And Konate, he stayed for one more year. They said a lot of it was with Ekitike coming, he was excited. So it is what it is. I agree with you, Peter. It's really good. It's actually it's notoriously difficult to blend in. I think there's a 37 million inflation and 35 million inflation just because the stamp of the Prime proven, it's as if you're selling prime rib, like, you know, it's like you're selling prime steak, and it's as if because of his Prime proven there's a stamp on the meat, and now it's like more expensive. But at the same time, it is a difficult league to transition into. It's a difficult league to try and, like, you know what I mean, to try and do something good. Do something good in and just be a productive player for your team. You get so much pressure, so many different types of different tactics thrown at you, different teams doing that, and during the one game, that's gonna happen as well. So it's not an easy thing. It's never been an easy thing to transition into the Premier League, but I find that these numbers are extremely inflated, and nobody likes that, and for sure not I. Here we have got also. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. So Vinny to Arsenal. So there's also my friend messaged me this morning. He's like, "What do you think of Vinny going to Arsenal?" Let's see what Sam is saying, and then we're gonna talk about Vinny going to Arsenal. Yeah, I'm saying like with Griezmann, him losing the league. Arsenal, Barca loses the league the 1 year he's there, and Atletico wins the league the 1 year he's gone. Is it's just whatever, like, and then they lost the Euro final to Portugal 2016. That was a bit like he was on the team, and that was hurtful. And he doesn't have a Champions League, I don't think. You know what I mean? And Barcelona with him, he played with Messi, was just not too much. You know what I mean? Guys, subscribe to the channel, please. Please help me. Subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe. You got 11 people watching. Thank you so much. So what's next on the docket? Let's see. We got Vinny to Arsenal. So let's see here. Let's digest this one. So so in terms of this one for Vinny to Arsenal, so they were saying, my friend was saying how shout out to my friend Saad Mamo. He was saying how he's not able to see Vinny playing his freedom or whatever he's gonna look for. It would be hard to do it with Arteta, with the systems of the Premier League. That's how he's viewing it. He's viewing the Premier League as a league that's gonna, you know what I mean? He's doing this. Samir here is saying Vinny to Arsenal or Liverpool would be cool. Vinny to Liverpool. If we're linked with Barcola, you can't have Barcola. Like, there would be no way you can have. Like, they're specialty left flank players. Like Barcola, yeah, like when he first came out, he always subbed in and he was always on the left flank. Like, he's a super sub like that. So from that standpoint, then him and Vinny, they're very left flank. So Mbappe likes to drift on the left. We saw a little bit of a clash. Rodrigo likes to drift on the left. We saw a little bit of a clash, but he plays mostly on the right. I said I have high belief in Rodrigo. He should be doing better. But with this one, I think even Rodrigo, with the guys like Rodri arriving, he might be just like a new rhythm. Mourinho, if he plays on the right in 5 minutes and gets some starts, it might be really good. Valverde goes to a 4-3-3. Valverde goes to the right wing, right midfield position, just like nice 4-3-3. Nothing too complicated. Trent can play with the help of Mourinho. Can probably learn a thing or two about how to defend the far post, how to cover up for yourself, and just not make mistakes and try your best to like help Madrid win. Of course, that's not something that I'd like to see, but nothing against like their fans or whatever. So it's like it's just a banter and it's competition. But yeah, like I think Rodri to Madrid will make them better, which would be bad news for Samar and Barcelona. So from aside from that, I think just like for Vinny and Arsenal, so my friend was saying how it's much of a system game. So that system game, can Vinny come in? I was thinking Vinny can add something like in a one-on-one situations or creativity, or just go take risks. I think he can add something that other guys in Arsenal don't really have. You have a really good base, 8 defenders that can rotate and come in. Like, you're not worried about injuries. You're not worried about nothing. You just want the league. I think it's about time to give somebody some freedom. And I think Arteta wouldn't mind. Look at what Pep gave Doku. He's a lot of freedom. Just do whatever. Do that same move. Do it 10 times if you want. If it's in the final third, it's the final third of creativity. We know Pep, that's his system. His job is in the first 2. He thinks that your job is in the final one, and it's on you to kind of go and produce there. And so that part is definitely part of like what it is that happens. But I think Vinny can offer that on the left. Martinelli can maybe rotate. Trossard is being moved to. He did win them the league. I don't know, but he's not like, you can't really like count on him, whatever. Like they went far and he was playing. He's a good rotation player, but rotation players, when they're moved, not too much of a like whatever is made, especially from outside the club. Maybe you see Arsenal fans making a big deal or criticizing or analyzing or explaining to us what it means exactly, like when Trossard or a guy like Trossard leaves. But I think like when a guy like Trossard leaves, but I think generally speaking, a guy like Vinny being generally speaking, a guy like Vinny going to Arsenal, he can offer them a lot. He can go left. He's decent at like assisting with his left. Not as good as Barcola, I don't think, with his playmaking. But he's such a danger. He's a volume player too. So with them feeling no pressure, just give him the ball and let him go one-on-one. If he beats one guy, he could go to the other one. And it's like, it's not that improbable to just like beat 2 guys off the dribble. We know defending in the Premier League, it's differently positioned and tactically differently viewed than the La Liga. La Liga, they defend more in packs. They close up space smartly. They know how to like transfer and go from a transfer and go from offense to defense. You know what I mean? So just from that standpoint, it's interesting. But I think outside of that, Vinny to Arsenal would be interesting. It would be good. It wouldn't be a bad move for Arsenal. I think Arteta and these guys, they'll be able to like get behind him and just make him feel like, bro, it's your team now. You know, whatever. Like in terms of offense, like don't worry, just go push him, whatever. You know, and he might be able to keep it, to keep the ranks, and he might be able to succeed with them. He really is. And now they just won the league. If he's able to go and get 20 goals in the Prem, they're gonna win the league again. Like you can't stop that. My friend was criticizing him and Gyökeres as a pairing. I think Gyökeres is being moved down, demoted to whatever, like either rotation or sell. They're gonna deal with him. Maybe, I don't know, if they don't deal with him this summer, then I'm wrong. But I think Gyökeres is gonna be dealt with. I think they're also shopping for strikers, you know. But yeah, Martinelli, like, you know, I haven't seen him play on the right, but they would have moved him to play on the right. His form hasn't been good. Did decent with Brazil against Japan, won them the game. But we always knew that Martinelli has a goal in him. He's good. He can receive and go, and he's quick. We know he's smart. He's a player, you know. But generally speaking, I'm not thinking they're gonna invest in him and they're gonna think Vinny's better. Their team needs reinforcements. It needs the type of reinforcements that their team needs reinforcements. It needs the type of reinforcements that just creativity. They're not creative. They don't create enough. And you just give it to somebody who might get the fans excited, who has a big name. Because if you do it with like a small name and he loses it, they're gonna yell. So he's gonna take the yelling. He might not even understand much English. He's just gonna accuse all the Arsenal fans of being against him anyways, and there's gonna be banter. It's gonna be funny, you know. I don't see the harm, you know. So yeah. Just in, this is for you, Peter. They're saying here. Oh, let's see what Samar is saying. And it's yeah. No. I know you didn't mean both. I knew you didn't mean both. I understood your point, and I don't think Vinny would be coming to Liverpool. He really doesn't fit our mantra as a club. Doesn't fit the whole complaining and fighting and they accused me. If he would be too afraid to bring him, and he said something about the fans, would be too afraid. It's not good for the brand, you know. Madrid are playing the two best left wings in the world, Mbappe and Vinny. They'll be better off with only one of them. Exactly. And Mbappe's playing in the middle, like, you know. But when you try to go to a 4-4-2, then Vinny has to go to like, or they play like with them two up front is kind of decent. They did decent, but they needed better midfield. Their midfield, Tchouaméni, Damavinga, those guys, you're not gonna win nothing with those guys. Those guys, they don't help you build in midfield. They don't help you kind of dominate in midfield. They dominate one side and leave you exposed in the other. It's not. It's really. I don't know. It's hard to put a hand on it, but definitely they got to rid themselves of that and then just give themselves more of a. But yeah, Peter, it was it's 170 here, like they're using, like I said, as an evaluation. 170 is a number that they're using in reflection to the Elliot Anderson and Morgan Rogers transfers numbers. It's like, what the fuck is going on? What does that have to do with anything? What does Elliot Anderson and Morgan Rogers got to do with it? They're homegrown British, they're English. Of course, they're going to be more expensive. And also, we said, like, where are they? Discuss this, you know. But yeah, it just so expensive, so fucking too much, you know. Here's proof that football fans' hypocrisies come to transfers. Liverpool fans encouraging Isaac to boycott training, but they were angry when Trent had gentleman agreement with Real Madrid. Yeah, whatever. This is talk. I think we have other priorities we have to focus on. And I love it. It's part of the game, talking, but it is what it is. Peter here, he is saying they held their nerve over Diomande. Yeah, it's unbelievable because I'm happy we dodged that bullet. If he goes to Real Madrid, Diomande might be able to, like I said, he might be able to do some work on the right and just give the supply, or just get the ball up the field and for Mbappe to just have supply and keep scoring. I don't know if they're gonna win. Yeah. They did. Yeah, Leipzig. Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna be able to They just wanted a good price. They don't really care where he's heading. I think just like for him, he wants to go to the right destination, so he's trying to dragging everybody along with him. I don't know what exactly are they fighting about, but if it's PSG, then just go. If it's not, then just go to Real Madrid. I don't get it, but I'm pretty sure Mourinho can make him more physicality player than whatever he is. He wouldn't add too much art to his game, which is fine. I think like if he goes to Akiti Kitaka, he would be out of position, out of fit, out of form, out of draw. So that wouldn't make sense. But yeah. Official, all completed. Here we go. It's Morgan Rogers. No, this is so bullshit, man. So yeah. So that's been that. This is the video of when Steven Gerrard. I think this was when we scored at the end. Like this was like a Liverpool, and he's eating. Bless him. So Stevie G over here, happy. So yeah. So it is what it is. This is what's going on at the moment. I think. Perfect. Yes. So it is what it is. This is what's going on at the moment. I think it's very inflated, the market. I think Liverpool should go on and try to do business. But if it's going to be 170, 150 for these guys, it might put similar pressure to the amount of pressure that was put on Isak and Verts. And then every time the team is not playing well, you're kind of stuck feeling some type of way. And about like the fans are feeling some type of way about you're feeling some type of way about your own performance. Everybody wants to come here and go to any club and perform. And even for yeah, like 137 for what? Like and just the announcing of it. Like where's Chelsea getting all this like revenue from? I don't get it. Do they have that many fans we didn't know about? You know? Because revenue is different than like capital. So it's like, how do they differentiate between the two, penetrate through PSR, and now we're able to just like, you know what I mean, to just go through this and just be like doing whatever the hell they want. It's interesting. It's very interesting, this dodgy deal. It is. I do think it's a dodgy one. Garnacho to Aston Villa. Oh my God. I went through it now. This guy is so funny. He's so funny, man. Garnacho, I don't know what he offers. He's so funny, bro. You know, he scored that bicycle kick and now they're like, oh my God. Peter. Who's going to come back? Money will come back next year for Garnacho? Oh, like you mean like in bonuses? Can you clarify that one, Peter, please? I didn't understand. I kind of understood. I just want to make sure. Thanks. I can see Rodgers being dodgy work by the clubs, especially by Garnacho. Might be going the other way. Oh yeah. Oh, now I understand. Thanks, guys, for like, you know, you guys speaking to each other made me understand what's going on. The owners are friends. This could be a financial thing. Oh shit, are they? Who are the owners? Peter, can you tell us who are the owners? Chelsea is the Americans, and Aston Villa. Oh shit! Wait, who owns Aston Villa? We'll see right now. Yeah, like honestly, 137 million, and then Garnacho goes the other way, and it's like, is that on top? Like, what do you mean, bro? If Garnacho, I thought he was decently rated. Like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, it's just so funny. The whole thing, it just screams of. It screams of. Something is weird. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, but outside of the football, it's hard to know exactly what's going on, to be honest. You know what I mean? And the only thing that you can do is just like to you know, enjoy the game as much as you can, because the more you think there's something like fucked up going on, that you wouldn't watch anymore. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, if I take it serious, the things that happen in general, like I'm just saying in general, I'm not saying like for real, right? Like it just makes you like not even enjoy the games. There's a lot of like so much going on, right? So true. That was crazy, bro. The whole Pjanic, he came, he was so old, and then it's like, why? And he did good in Italy, but why? Where do these guys get this rep from? You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's so funny. It's so funny. I Yes, thank you, Peter. I got it now. Yeah, no, I was just saying. So I left you guys this topic. You guys, yeah, in the chat, digest it while I use the bathroom. Just Nico Williams. He's way cheaper than Bradley Barcola. Would you take him at Liverpool? Do you think him going to Tottenham, does that mean anything for Tottenham and the league? I'll be right back. Let's discuss that when I'm back. Excuse me, sorry about that. Thank you for waiting. And back to our topic. So the last thing that we were discussing was just Nico Williams, whether he'd be a good fit for Tottenham Hotspur, and going forward, whether he'd be a good fit for Tottenham Hotspur, and whether he could work for Liverpool, like instead, whether Liverpool should go for him. I think it'd be split opinions, just like not the whole availability part. That's what makes, we talked about how that's what makes other guys so in demand. You know what I mean? And when just having that makes it better. And when you're not healthy, or you can't keep healthy, it's not the same. So I'm sure he'll find a way to. I'm sure he'll find a good team if he wants to leave Atletico Bilbao, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be. I'm not sure if it's gonna be Liverpool, but I think they should be invest in it. The price is way less than 170, the one that they're demanding for Barcola. If Barcola has to be 170, I don't know if that's a good fit. 170, it's like an automatic failure unless he can bring a major trophy within the time that he's here. Like, he has to bring it, you know. So it's like, if say you bring somebody for, like, say hypothetically, say Liverpool somehow pay 170 for Barcola. If we win the league or the Champions League next year, then it's justified. If not, then it's not. Automatically, it's not. Unless in the second season they would have to win Champions League or the league. If after that, even like in the third year, if you win the league by other reinforcements and they are the stars, not him, then it wouldn't be justified. And you go back to saying, oh, was it too much? Was he worth 120? Was he worth 110? Was he worth 90? Was it like, regardless of how well he's gonna play, it's gonna be very hard for him to play up to 170 million. That's my point. So just from that standpoint, I think like a guy like this guy is just like cheaper, right? So it's just like, yeah. So he's saying exclusive Tottenham Hotspur are preparing a massive official bid for Nico Williams. RDS views on Atletico Bilbao sensation at his top target to completely transfer Spurs attack. Big money backing confirmed to the board. Vina ready to trigger the release clause. Yeah, like it's a good thing if Tottenham they can do it, then that's their prerogative, and it's fine. And I think he fits with their kind of mantra, how they play, and he fits with Liverpool as well. I think he does. It's awesome. He can go, like, he plays in that semi pocket, in that half, in that inverted space, just like between, I forgot the exact term for it. I'll get it. And just like in between the line and the penalty area. He can get behind. He's just like, you can find him with the easiest passes. I think good wingers are ones that can be found with easy passes, not the ones that you would have to, like, almost get it to, like, you reach him just to play him where he is. He's like hiding and not moving correctly, not just very stagnant, And so some people, when you play with them, they're just playing wrong and just, Gakpo funding a Barcola, that would be amazing. But Gakpo couldn't fund a Barcola, like, if we don't actually find a suiting for him. Then people are like, oh, if you're gonna buy Barcola, or like if you're gonna sell Gakpo, then we're gonna charge you a lot for Barcola. So they're already doing that. Guys, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps, and smash the likes. Thank you. So for those that are watching, please, if you just came in, subscribe to the channel. Daily live streams, it means a lot. Please do it. So yeah. So I was just saying how it just from yeah, like, you know what I mean. So Peter here, he's saying this. So a couple of stories today about Gakpo funding Barcola. Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean, 100%. And I'm happy if that can happen. I'm happy if that can happen, Peter. That would be blessed. I would love that. And David Ornstein here saying that's from before Poosteen. Parody, like, it's like a parody account. Let's refresh. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's happening. Sound check. Yes, I think the sound is back. So sorry, but I just had to stop because the sound was reconnecting. And yeah, no, what I'm saying is this, right? What I'm saying is this. Um, Bradley Barcola, he's an important player, and we need to get moving, but we're not spending the 170 million. And we covered many things today. We covered the world of football. We covered like what could happen, like what could happen if he comes, how Iraola would set him up, what does it mean for like other people. We talked about the mentorship of Rio, the rotation. um Here, a very very valuable note to end the discussion for today, only for Barcola. I think just like in terms of like for the discussion for today with Barcola, I think what we learned is that it's too expensive. But if we, like Peter said, something very valuable to end on his note, that if we can fund it with the Gakpo money, and if we can move on from guys like Gakpo, I think the whole fan base would feel much better. When you have a fan base that's feeling better, it's just a good thing, right? Like nobody's just no one has a problem with offloading somebody who's not happy at the club, and we're not happy with him, and just no negative vibes. We love him, we love his family, we wish the best for them. There's just no, but it's all professionalism. A relationship between a fan and a player, it's actually professional. Like they are professionals, and by automatic means, that means that the way they deal with you as a fan is different, and they have to just cater to the club's needs, and when they're gone, they're gone. And he tried his best. It didn't fit under Arne Slot. I don't think how he's gonna fit now. I'm telling you, a big part of football is being able to go right and left. He can't go left. And then a big part of football is after you go left with the off foot, being able to send the ball with the left foot, and just to be able to like run with it, drift it towards whatever. Like all he do is just first touch with it, and that's the only thing. Like for a professional player to be bringing so much attention just to like how much he uses the left foot, it's like it's a bit of an irony. It's like, it exists in basketball. Like for those that watch basketball, for Jaylen Brown, he can't go left. But like outside of that, like that's besides the point. And I'm just saying, like, I'm just hoping that if we bring Bradley or somebody else, we just have a plan and we know how to like the market is. And if I'm okay with us not spending, and I'm okay with us not necessarily having to bring a guy like Bradley Barcola and having to spend that much. If Nico's 70 and you want to try with Nico, I'm okay with that. I know Bradley is younger. I know Bradley's also way a bit younger, maybe 2 years younger, not that much younger than Nico. Nico was 23 in the Euros, so he's 25 now. Bradley's 23 now, so yeah. So we can you can go ahead and think about many ways you can spin it, and you can play Victor Munoz on the right. You can play, if Bradley Barcola he comes in, you can play him on the left, and then if he's tired, or if you want to rotate, you can bring in Rio. The first year, like this season coming up, you bring him in at 60. Yeah, I'm sure Barcola doesn't have a problem switching. If you want to bring in Rio minute 60, then have Barcola go on the right. In terms of the depth inside, you're just gonna want to do a 4-2-3-1. To be honest, we're gonna have to do that. We don't have a good enough midfield to do 4-3-3. I learned that the hard way. We learned that the hard way. We've seen it in France against Spain. The 4-2-3-1. It's not a midfield shape unless you have the part of the three. All three are midfielders in a way, but if they're not natural midfield ables guys, then you're going to be defeated by other teams. And I think like for Spain, for example, they're just playing 4-3-3 with one pivot, Fabian Ruiz and Olmo in the front, and they were so they were doing 4-2-3-1, but a lot of the times Rodri was sitting alone, like at the 4-1-4-1. So it's a varieties, it's a variations. It's a bunch of things are different. Bunch of things can be true. Bunch of things can be wrong. But yeah, you can like if we have to play with whoever we have to play right now, you can play in Victor Munoz on the right, and Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz behind them, and then Bradley Barcola on the left, and the two guys in the middle. You can mix and match. You have Ryan Gravenberch, like Szoboszlai, or you can be playing Szoboszlai behind Alexander Isak, and then you can be playing but where do you put Wirtz? Then it would have to be a 4-2-2-2. If you play a 4-2-2-2, then you're exposed defensively. Iraola wouldn't do that. Iraola is gonna do a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 variations. Yeah, he's not gonna do like he's not gonna do, like, what I mean. He might shape the team three at the back certain times and try to like do the they have this shape where you got three guys at the back, and then on top of them the midfielders with the wingers, they make a triangle. So three, and then three, that's nine, and one like guy on top. It's like, yeah, so they have that shape too. It's really good. It's kind of steady, and he can do it too. I'll explain it later. I think I'm going to introduce like a board and show tactics. I'm not a tactic expert, but I know enough to have a board and show what I'm thinking, so that can be traced visually. And yeah, yeah, so it's a lot that comes into it from a tactical standpoint that would tell you which player to sign, and a lot of profiling and a lot of depth, and but when they value it at a high price is when they hear, or when they think that these guys are willing to pay, like, say 140, 160. And if they're willing to pay 140, 160, then we should push it to 170. So when they come to talk to us, we end up at a price that more, or if not less or same as, it wouldn't be less than what when they initially are thinking, or are they budgeting. That way we meet them at the top side of the window, as opposed to the lower side of the bargain. And that's very normal, and that happens all the time. Do I think he's a Liverpool player? Honestly, I don't know. A lot comes into it before we can, like, before, like last year, Isaac happened on the last day, I think, of the transfer window, or something like that, towards the end, after we had thought he's not happening. And he was having so much drama with Newcastle. We thought maybe even the so much drama with Newcastle might result in some sort of something. Like, we just felt like this is too much, and then it happened. And it's funny. And Voltemon, the German striker, who was made fun of by Karl Heinze, the Bayern president, and Voltemon, they started so well that Newcastle did noticeably better than Liverpool over the course of the beginning of the season. We started well first 5 games, and then we went on like an 11 games losing streak, or not win streak. And Arne thought his job was in danger for like 30 months after. And yeah, so yeah. Thank you so much, Peter. Yeah, so no, it's definitely going to be a board. I've taken a course in tactics. I played and taken a coaching course. I've also, every time I watch, I keep notes, and I've been watching, of course, 30 years plus. So I've always taken notes, knowing that one day I'm gonna want to work in the journalism, sports media. Humbly, of course. I'm just a student. I'm just a student, but it'd be nice to visualize and kind of explain things that. You're right, Peter. You're right. I'm after the stream is over. We have something to do at home, and then after that, I'll definitely start my shopping at the store, where I can bring in the right. I need the right equipment and the right just like the right board. I might have it be the one where it has its own camera, where it shows on its own. Like, it'd be on the right hand side here. It'll be on the right hand side here, and then I will show, and then be like, it's very nice. I think I'm gonna do exactly that. Or yeah, it could be behind me, and I can just write. But I think the one where it's digitally separated on the screen, it's as if I'm the tab itself, the board of the tactics. It's as if I'm speaking to someone else, and on it I'd move, and then you guys can see, and that way it makes for a better conversation, because then you know what I mean. Like, if somebody comes into the half space, what does that mean if they're hugging the line? Because these are huge. So I think today was more than successful. I've had too much fun, and I've had too much fun. It's been super awesome. We went on for a long time. This is, I think, my record, 2 hours and 18 minutes. When the season starts, my dream is that by the time the season starts, my dream is to go on and do like the whole day, and let's see, like, you know what I mean. But there's gonna be watch-alongs. There's gonna be stadium feel, commentating, music, songs. We'll sing stadium, and like, not me singing, but there'll be variations, and that's a surprise, and we'll see. Last but not least, I'd like to thank everyone. Peter, big up to you. Samar, Kanjis, everyone that joined today. Super thank you. It was a really, really blessed, nice episode. We like I said, this is my record for live streaming. It's the daily live stream. The Sunday vibe check was definitely vibe checking. I think Barcola coming to Liverpool is a dream that everybody would like, and not a dream in the sense of, oh my god, I've never seen a player like that, but just like where we are as a club. it's like something that's very good. But 107 million, no, that's like a nightmare. So just like the price and the market and everything in life has a price. So hopefully we don't get dragged into this and waste our time, because we're not paying 170. We shouldn't even pay even like maybe 130 million euros is the most I would pay, which is like 110 pound or one something. We paid a lot for Verse and Isaac, close to 130 and 150 respectively, and now we can't be complaining too much about having to pay or might having to pay a little, because we paid 90 million pounds or euros for Ekitike, so that was super high as well. And which in what might feel like a bit of a bargain now somehow, which is funny if when you buy a guy for 90 million and he gets Achilles like injuries, and we somehow still think it was a bargain of a buy. Thank you so much, Peter. You enjoy the rest of your day as well. Good evening. Like, I know it's like 10 o'clock at night in the UK, so big up to you. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. Cheerio, cheerio. Thank you guys so much. Smash the likes. It's been a great stream. Please subscribe to the channel. I promise you won't regret it. We talk footy, we keep it fair, and we keep it moving. It's funny, it's banter, it's straight. We don't. Everyone is involved in the chat. Everyone is involved, their opinion, and we share everyone's opinion. And we talk about what everyone else is saying. So we're growing, and that's awesome. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Go ahead and have a good Sunday. Subscribe to the channel. Check out other videos for those who are going to watch later, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Alright Tribe. 230, I think 7 or 38 subscribers, on our way to 250. And then on our way, of course, for 1,000, which would mean a lot for a channel. Please subscribe. Every subscription helps so much. Thank you, and have a good one.